A huge one tonight on TNT between the Wild and the Avs as we take a look at the Central Division standings. Top spot certainly up for grabs for any of the three teams at the top, the Wild, the Avs, or even the Stars as well. Colorado currently one back of the Wild for the division lead, something the defending champs have held for just one single day this season. It was back in November. You know, you look at this division and what it looks like at this point, and even the two games that these teams have already played against each other, which, by the way, Colorado won both. My question for you guys is this: how crucial do you think it is for the Wild to win this division and avoid Colorado in the first round?
I mean, I think you could make that case for a number of teams out there on both sides of the NHL. It's a difficult path, no matter who you face. If you're the 2-3 going forward, the wild card is just a softer, more manageable path. You're seeing teams that are far less dangerous, and that's the thing that I've noticed across the top three in all four divisions. And remember, we went through a bit of an arms race, so to speak, as the deadline approached this season, unlike anything we've seen before. Point being, anybody that's 1 through 3 in the four divisions across the NHL, all those teams are pretty dangerous. They have the potential, without reservation, to go on a good deep run. So the 2-3 for me is, that's a fool's errand if you can avoid it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Minnesota, Colorado, Dallas, those three teams are playing well. And Dallas probably has the easiest schedule to wrap up with. Mm-hmm. You want to be first because you're going to, if you're not, you're playing another opponent that is playing as well as you are. The key to finishing first, and you go back to, we're not sure who the wild card position is going to be. We're not sure if the Wild, the Avs, or Stars are going to end up first. Is it going to be Vegas? Is it going to be LA? Not sure if Edmonton's going to get there. So you're not really sure. And the team that might get in that wild card spot, you might catch them on a little bit of a, sometimes like, oh, they're in. Well, okay, we're in. And all of a sudden, they pick it up in game 2. So you get the jump on them. And that's the luxury of being first in the division is you get the wild card team. And they're not playing as well. You can't tell me the wild card in the West are playing as well as the top 6 teams and the top 3 in the Central and top 3 in the Pacific. They're not playing as well.
No,
Otherwise, they'd be in there.
We're calling it a turtle race for crying out loud.
So you definitely want to play one of those turtles rather than playing your division.
Give me one of the teams that does not seem to want to be be here.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I will take that, please.
Not that they're going to be easy, but it's like, all right, you know,
and that's distinct from a lot of years in the past.
Yes.
Too. And it's not, you know, it's not without fail every time this happens, but oftentimes for teams that end up 7 or 8 in the wild card 1 or 2, you know, you've had to play some of your best hockey to really get there. This year, to me, has felt dramatically different. To your point, there's clubs that are kind of they're backing down to that spot, or in some cases, almost backing up and into that spot, playing just above 500 hockey to get in.
And here's a look at the upcoming schedules for these 3 teams that are fighting for top spot in the division. I mean, the Minnesota, all 3 of these teams really, as you said, Reader, are very good. So for me, even when it comes to strength of schedule, like, it doesn't matter so much to me with these types of teams because they're good. They're very good teams. They are going to compete with the Vegases, with the Colorados, with each other. Like, I'm not worried about that. To me, they're all very competitive. I think they understand the importance of winning a top spot in the division. But for the Wild in particular, and it'll be interesting to see how this game tonight goes because they have lost the first 2 matchups against the Avs, and the Avs, I think, are playing better now than they have all season.
Yeah, true enough.
Both teams are. These are 2 different teams than we saw earlier in the season.
100%.
Absolutely.
I was going to make that point. Between the 3, these are the 2 that we're seeing face off here tonight, Minnesota and Colorado. They had their struggles earlier. One for Minnesota by virtue of some shoddy goaltending. I don't think the club playing all that well, trying to find their footing. And Colorado more by virtue of just, key people out of the mix. But both those clubs have been kind of trending upward in a really steady direction all year long, to a point where Now they're just playing they're playing some lethal hockey. The Stars, by contrast, I think kind of padded things early, jumped out of the gate, had a really strong first half, led for much of the first half, and now they've been a little up and down. We've seen peaks and valleys where the Stars are concerned. So an interesting kind of a contrast between the three that are 1, 2, and 3, respectively, in the Central at the moment.